Okay, so I'm going to start with an idea that sounds, well, completely wrong. It's this. If you want to live a more meaningful life, you need to be bored. Yeah, I know. It sounds nuts, right? But stick with me, because the science behind this is it's mind-blowing. Let's dive in.
You're watching the One-Eyed Monkey channel, where tech, gadgets, and Bitcoin collide.
Okay, I've got a question for you, and I want you to be totally honest with yourself. Picture this. You're stuck in a room, all by yourself, for just 15 minutes. There's nothing to do. No phone, no book, nothing. Your choice is sit there alone with your thoughts or get a painful electric shock. What do?
Now, you might think that's a crazy hypothetical question, but it's not. This actually happened. A study at Harvard put people in this exact situation. Just them, a room, and a little button that would give them an electric shock. And the results are, well, they're insane. A huge majority of people started shocking themselves instead of just sitting there quietly. I mean, think about that. That is how much we hate, truly hate, being alone with our thoughts.
So this all boils down to our fear of nothing.
I mean, that's the big takeaway, right? We have this instinct to avoid boredom that's so strong, so powerful, that we'll literally choose physical pain over it. It's like we're hardwired to do anything else. But why? Well, to figure that out, we've got to look inside our heads.
Let's talk about something called the default mode network.
So what the heck is the default mode network, or DMN? The best way to think about it is like it's your brain's screensaver. Seriously, it's the network of brain structures that lights up when you aren't focused on anything in the outside world. You know, when you're just mind-wandering, waiting in line, staring out the window, that's the DMN. It's your brain in its bored state.
And here's where it gets really interesting. You've basically got two modes. When you're focused, your brain is all about the external world. You're doing a task, solving a problem, feeling productive. But when you're bored and that DMN kicks in, your brain turns inward. It starts wondering, it starts self-reflecting, and it starts asking those, big questions like, am I actually happy? What am I doing with my life? And that right there, that can feel super uncomfortable. And it's that feeling we're running from.
And this leads us right into what I'm calling the doom loop of meaning.
So how do we escape that uncomfortable feeling? Well, we all have the ultimate escape tool right in our pockets. Yeah, our phones. Look, this is a channel that loves tech and gadgets, right? But we have to be real. Our phones are the most powerful anti-boredom devices ever invented. The instant you feel a flicker of that demon discomfort, what do? You grab your phone, and just like that, you shut it all down.
And this creates a really nasty cycle. Let's walk through it. Step 1, you feel a moment of boredom. Step 2, your default mode network fires up. Step 3, it feels kind of weird, a little uncomfortable, so you grab your phone. And boom, step 4, you've avoided thinking about those big life questions. Now do that once, no big deal. But do it hundreds of times a day, every single day, and over time, that sense of meaning, your purpose, it just starts to evaporate.
And this isn't trivial stuff. This cycle is a recipe for some serious problems. We're seeing rising depression, more anxiety, and this general feeling of hollowness that a lot of people are experiencing. By constantly dodging our DMN, we are literally starving our brains of the quiet time they need to figure out who we are and what our lives are all about. Okay, that's the problem. It's a bit of a downer, I know. But here's the good news. We can break the loop. So let's talk about some actual practical protocols for boredom. Now, I gotta warn you, this stuff is simple, but it is not easy. Try commuting with nothing. No radio, no podcasts, nothing. When you go to the gym, leave your phone in the car or the locker. Don't sleep with it in the same room. Have meals with no devices out. The idea is to create these little pockets of, well, nothing, to let your DMN actually do its job. And listen, when you first try this, it's gonna feel awful, like an addiction craving, for real. That's your brain screaming for its usual dopamine hit. It's an itch you desperately want to scratch. But here's the key. That's just the dopamine talking. And if you can just push through it, it will calm down. You just have to get to the other side.
So what's on that other side? What happens when you get your brain back on boredom?
Well, this is the really cool, kinda paradoxical part. The more you practice being bored, the less bored you'll feel with your actual life. Your job, your relationships, they start to feel more interesting.
You'll suddenly have your most creative ideas just pop into your head. And of course, you'll finally start digging into those big questions of purpose and meaning. And you know what? You might just get happier, a lot happier.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one last question to think about. We always say we need our phones for emergencies, right? To stay in the loop. But really, think about it. Your grandparents survived just fine without 24/7 news. Are you absolutely sure that notification you just got is a real emergency?